Hello, everybody, and welcome to Non Sequitur News for February 27th, 2025, Season 4, Episode 58. I am Mayor Watt, and I run ohmtown.com. That's that site up there. The sentient AI is not available today, and I've got 10 articles that I'm going to go over. We're continuing with the theme of Spring Steam Next Fest. Then EA released game source code, HBO's Dumbledore, Katy Perry in space, Athena to the moon, giant invasive rodents, Ocelot, the quantum computing chip, dying to make it to the gate, selling egg McMuffins for $1, and the last phone box. Everything is powered by ohmtown.com, so go over there and become a citizen. It's really easy. Just sign up or sign in. Then follow us here on Twitch and on YouTube. And this episode isn't actually going to be on Twitch because this is a time machine episode. So I'm going to rip through this because I have less than an hour to survive. Otherwise, I'm stuck in time for a while. That's how the time machine works. But go and check out ohmtown.com. All right, folks, let's get into this. The very first article is 11 fantastic free demos not to miss in February's Steam Next Fest. February 2025's Steam Next Fest is upon us. It's actually the end of it, as far as I know, right? Goes until when? The 5th or something like that? We're right around the corner. Hold on. Let me make sure. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. Yeah, the 3rd, actually. So, Monday. So here are 11 from Kotaku. I'm not going to be able to go through all of them, but Ethan Gash, or Gatch, I think it's Gatch, John Walker, Zach Zweisen over at Kotaku.com put this article together, and they have a slideshow of it. So here's the slideshow. We always list the slides instead of going through it one by one, but they have 11 fantastic free demos not to miss, and they say Kathy Rain 2, Soothsayer, Bad Cheese, Nothing Beyond This Point, Kiddo, Diamond Tides, Despelot, or Despelot, Haste, Broken Worlds, Machina, Is This Seat Taken, which I've played and is a blast. It's a hoot. Chip and Claws versus the Brainoids, and TMNT Tactical Takedown. Seems like it would be fun to play. I'm going to go back to the front one. Is This Seat Taken is a blast for those of us who would like to organize things. The rest I haven't actually seen, so I can't tell you about it. And that's why I'm going to move on to the next article. But you can go over to Kotaku, follow the link through ohmTown. It'll be in the show notes for this episode. Just click on the link. That's the first link. All right, the next article is over in WarCrafters. EA just released source code for a bunch of old Command & Conquer games and added Steam Workshop support for bangers, they say here. It's from PC Gamer. Bangers like Command & Conquer 3, Tiberium Wars, which was a blast to play back in the day, yo. They said, I have a diseased mind that only wants one thing. A proper remaster of Tiberian Sun, much like Red Alert and OG Command & Conquer got back in 2020 with the release of the Command & Conquer Remastered collection. Well, they haven't got it yet, but they've got a decent second prize. EA has announced that it is releasing the source code for a bunch of old CNC games. And here's the bit that they said that where I want. As a man who enjoys modding, but is also very lazy, gets excited, adding Steam Workshop support to a few more. The article is by Joshua Wollens. The deck statement says, how could I expect a source code release by my own forces? Yeah, I really liked back in the day, Command & Conquer, but the games getting source code release are Command & Conquer Tiberian Dawn, Red Alert, CNC Renegade, CNC Generals, and Zero Hour. They're being released under GPL license, meaning folks can mix, match, and redistribute them to their heart's content without EA lawyers smashing down the doors, and you can find them all on EA's GitHub page. As for the workshop, That's getting switched on for CNC Renegades, CNC Generals, and 0 Hour, CNC Tiberium Wars and Kane's Wrath, and CNC4 Tiberium Twilight. They said they all can't be winners. EA has also gone and updated all the mission editor and world builder tools so that you can publish maps generally to the Steam Workshop. Plus, it's putting out a modding support pack that contains source XML, schema, script, shader, and map files for all the games that use the Sage engine. And the author admits, like I do, I lack the useful skills to know what that really means for modding scene. But they know that they look forward to reaping the benefits down the line. So come on, basically knock off or knock on Command and Conquer games. Let's keep going, though. The next article is HBO's Harry Potter star John Lithgow weighs in on the controversy of an American playing Dumbledore. And I've always thought it's really weird that people get bent out of shape that somebody is acting to be like somebody else, as if an actor can't act. They have to be a certain thing, but an actor acts. Can a character be written a certain way? Yes. Can it always be forced into that little silo of existence? No. On the heels of Hollywood veteran John Lithgow confirming his casting as Professor Albus Dumbledore in HBO's Harry Potter revival, the actor has swiftly responded to naysayers who expressed concern over an American playing the iconic wizard, known best for his roles in Interstellar, The Crown, Dexter. Lithgow has been acting professionally since the 70s and recently highlighted the dumbfounding and Dumbledore founding detail that he'll be around 87 years old by the wrap party for Harry Potter's reboot series. Rachel Fidus, I think is their name, over at GameRant.com put the article together. Yeah, Harry Potter franchise evolves into a series amidst fan criticism, but retains popularity. I haven't heard much about this in terms of like when it's on and stuff like that. I haven't watched it yet. But Harry Potter's HBO revival, quite fascinating. So the 7-book novel, an 8-part movie adaptation released between 2001 and 2011, the Harry Potter franchise has retained its popularity through the Fantastic Beasts spin-off films and Jack Thorne written play Harry Potter and the Cursed Child to establish the greater wizarding world, which the world building potential is massive, and I don't think there is really, the totality quite hasn't hit yet, just how expansive it can be. But if it has anything to do with the author, I think that there's always going to be problems. Well, Harry Potter reboot star John Lithgow confirms Dumbledore will remain an Englishman. In the actor's mind, Dumbledore couldn't be anything other than English, and Lithgow reminisced over his time performing on The Crown, remembering that he was welcomed by the English actors working on the project who had far more confidence in me and my Englishness than I did myself. So Lithgow noted that Harry Potter reboot would define the final chapter of his life and career, emphasizing that the decision to take the job was not an easy one, in short, because he wants to do it justice. And working with actors who are noted as being at the very top of the food chain, whatever that means. Anyway, I find it really fascinating that people get this worked up about actors doing actory things. Let it go. Let's see what happens. You know, if he wets the bed, then so be it. I mean, he's 87. No, just kidding. Anyway, let's keep moving. The next article is over in the Non Sequitur News channel. Jeff Bezos is sending Katy Perry to space. Katy Perry will fly to space during Blue Origin's next crewed mission. Jeff Bezos' owned space company has announced that it's going to be the 11th human flight, along with Perry and Sanchez, Bezos' fiancée Lauren Sanchez, aboard the New Shepard rocket this spring. Who's known for her work as a news anchor and correspondent. The crew will include research scientist and activist Amanda Nguyen and film producer Carrie Ann Flynn and former NASA rocket scientist Aisha Bowe. Sanchez first revealed her plans to lead an all-female Blue Origin mission in 2023. But I guess she didn't mention Katy Perry, but there you go. Emma Roth over at The Verge put the article together. The deck statement says CBS host Gayle King and Bezos' fiancée, Lauren Sanchez, will also reach the edge of space on board Blue Origin. Well, good for them. Congratulations. There's always more in these articles that we link to. We don't say everything. There's minutia in there that you might find fascinating if you go over and check it all out. I haven't heard from anything Katy Perry in so long that I didn't realize, other than I think she's made some, in my opinion, poor choices, but hey, I'm not, I'm not them. Anyway, the Athena spacecraft launches to the moon as Intuitive Machines aims for historic second lunar landing. The article is over at Smithsonian Magazine or smithsonianmag.com. Ella Jeffries put the article together. The American company achieved the first successful moon landing by a private spacecraft last year. Now it has sent a new mission to the South Pole carrying science instruments for NASA. I think we need more competition. So it says Texas-based company Intuitive Machines is gearing up for a second attempt to put a spacecraft on the moon with a new Athena lander expected to touch down on March 6th. Its latest mission will aim for the lunar South Pole, which scientists believe can hold water ice, an essential resource for human exploration of the moon and beyond. Anyway, everything has come together perfectly to go right, to fire the engine, to put us on our way to the moon. Well, congratulations. Again, there's always more. The lander is designed to withstand the harsh conditions of the moon with specially engineered six-leg landing gear that can stabilize the craft, including on uneven terrain. The mission will also transport scientific instruments for NASA as part of the agency's Commercial Lunar Payload Services, or CLIPS program, which aims to leverage private companies to deliver payloads to the moon at a lower cost. When there's middle people, there's always more costs, particularly a profit motive. Anyway, Intuitive Machines' mission is not the only one targeting the moon in 2025. Two other private lunar landers launched toward Earth's natural satellite in January. One of them, Firefly Aerospace's Blue Ghost, is expected to touch down on March 2nd, beating Athena because of its head start. The second lander, named Resilience and developed by Japan's iSpace, is intended to take a longer route to the moon and arrive later in the spring. It's an amazing time, says NASA's science mission chief Nikki Fox, who told that to the Associated Press. Yes, where is all that public funding coming from? The next article is over on the Mobile Channel. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service wants you to eat these giant invasive rodents. Yeah, Sarah Hashemi put this article together. Part of the National Invasive Species Week, the agency is calling on Americans to eat the invaders, including swamp-dwelling nutria. They're just giant rodents, giant rats, really. It's pretty wild. They're nonstop munching and burrowing, destroying the plants that keep marshes stable, leading to erosion, loss of habitat, wetlands, and that looked like something out of a disaster movie. The Post continues. Yeah. They're invasive with no predators of any, large amount. So the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries estimated that nutria caused as much as 103,000 acres of damage in the state before it implemented a control program. The large rodents can consume a quarter of their body weight in vegetation every day and can destroy an area up to 10 times that size. As an exotic invasive species to our North American wetlands, they can be especially destructive since plant species did not evolve with this forager. So they're basically saying you can make meals of their invasive species. Northern snakehead fish, invasive carp, green iguanas, feral hogs. People in Florida are already concocting dishes out of their invasive iguanas, which can sometimes be referred to as chicken of the trees. Let's go on to our next article. It's over in the Late Night Geeks channel. Amazon debuts Ocelot, its first quantum computing chip. AWS, or Amazon Web Services, has introduced Ocelot, its first quantum computing chip. The news brings it into line with big cloud rivals Microsoft and Google, which have also unveiled their own quantum chips in recent months, respectively Majorana and Willow. Majorana? Oh, whatever. Anyway, the cloud computing giant has long been investing in the quantum computing space race, so there you go. Paul Sawers over at TechCrunch.com put the article together. Ocelot was developed in partnership with the California Institute of Technology, or Caltech, and integrates two small silicon microchips, pictured above in the picture in the header, stacked on top of each other. The company says that the chip's design could reduce costs associated with error correction by as much as 90%. With the recent advancement in quantum research, it is no longer a matter of if, but when practical fault-tolerant quantum computers will be available for real-world applications, says AWS Director of Quantum Hardware Oscar Painter. Again, fundamental research in universities is funded by a crossroads of private and public funding. That public funding is through the government grants. No government, no grants, no fundamental research. The next article is over in the Mobile Channel. A man spent hours next to a corpse on a plane after the passenger died mid-flight. An Australian couple says that they were traumatized after Qatar Airways forced them to sit next to a corpse for hours on a long-haul flight last week. Ben Kesslin said that wrote the article, but the deck statement says the passenger was traveling from Doha to Australia on Qatar Airways, or Qatar. I'm not sure how they pronounce it anymore. I've heard it in different ways, but anyway, unfortunately, the lady couldn't be saved, which was pretty heartbreaking to watch. They tried to wheel her up towards business class, but she was quite a large lady, and they couldn't get her through the aisle. They looked a bit frustrated. Then they just looked at this person, saw seats that were available, and said, "There you go." They said, "Can you move over, please?" I said, "Yes, no problem." Then they placed the lady in the chair that they were in. Hell no. That is I would have to be moved. Please move me. I mean, that's rather unbelievable. Anyway, they have a duty of care toward their customers as well as their staff. We should be contacted to make sure, do you need some support? Do you need some counseling? I don't really know how I feel and would like to speak to somebody to make sure I'm all right. Man, wild. Let's go. The next article is over in the Non Sequitur news channel. McDonald's is selling $1 Egg McMuffins as egg prices soar, and it could be paying off big time. I still won't buy anything from McDonald's. McDonald's is selling $1 Egg McMuffins on its app on Sunday. The promotion, it's only one day. Who cares? The promotion comes as the Egg McMuffin celebrates 50 years on the market, and as egg prices soar, egg prices hit a record high in the U.S. in January, with a dozen grade A eggs costing an average of $5. Maybe in January, but now we're at the end of March, and they're more than that. As the food industry grapples with the skyrocketing prices of eggs, and if people are willing to pay for it, the prices aren't going to drop, because basically the world, or the nation's suppliers go, well, we raised the prices, might as well leave them there and get record profits on the books. Well, anyway, Adita Barad over at businessinsider.com put the article together. And it says here that the promotion celebrates Egg McMuffin's 50th birthday. It was introduced in 1975. McDonald's menu prices vary depending on the location. In downtown Manhattan, an Egg McMuffin costs $6. So they say it's a value strategy. Vice President at Forrester, a New York market research company, Dipanjan Chatterjee, told Business Insider the deal fit right into the McDonald's value strategy, which includes $5 meals and $1 items. The move is likely to pay off handsomely for McDonald's, said Mario Braz de Matos, a co-founder of the Singapore branding consultancy agency Flying Fish Lab. Yeah. I don't know. Given the short supply of eggs, supermarket chains have seen egg cartons sell out minutes before or after store openings. Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, and Costco have imposed limits on the number of cartons each customer can purchase. The restaurant chain Waffle House announced earlier this month that it would start charging a 50-cent surcharge on each egg it sold. Shake Shack said on Thursday that restaurant chains with big breakfast businesses might dial back on eggs and offer more beef and chicken products instead. It's ridiculous. Anyway, there should be enough eggs in the system. The reason why there isn't is because the suppliers are only massive suppliers. You don't have any diversity competition in there. So companies should be buying local. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, the last article for today, February 27th, Time Machine episode, is over in Technology Today. This person says, I don't want it to die. And it has nothing to do with a plane. One man's battle to save the last phone box in his village. In 1935, Derek Harris was born, and so was the K6 red phone box. Now Harris is spending his 90th year ensuring his beloved local facility isn't lost. Basically, these phone boxes are disappearing. Amin Sainer, I guess, over at The Guardian, put this article together, and there it is. Painted again and again and again and again, and probably never stripped of any paint, so it looks like it is just spackled with paint. He has described it as a David and Goliath campaign. It is that, and in the as it becomes unclear about the outcomes of what's going to happen with these phone boxes, I know that there is one local to me that is for sale for thousands of dollars. They say, first though, some field mice. Sherrington is in a picturesque part of East Anglian countryside. We're surrounded by open, rolling, wonderful fields, arable, beautiful, says Harris, except they're inhabited by field mice, and field mice have developed a penchant for the PVC that protects the copper cabling of phone lines. Opposite the church, which is just up the road, there is a telegraph pole, and in it there are 3 mice nesting. So his eyes sparkle. The rodents nod through the wires, disrupting villagers' phone lines and internet. He knows about the mice, he says, because an engineer from OpenReach, the BT-owned company that looks after it, told him. They actually make some cabling now that have peppers embedded in it so that it's too spicy, but I don't know if that actually works with everybody, mice and stuff like that. Some people, I guess, some mice maybe have they really like hot sauce. I don't know. So the UK has 14,000 working phone boxes, down from 20,000 3 years ago. At their peak in the 90s, there were 100,000, and of these, 3,000 are the iconic red design. When about 95% of the households have a mobile phone, it's perhaps a wonder that phone boxes survive at all. Agreed. The reason why they exist is because there's wire in the ground or in the air that actually carries the signal out. But as soon as those go away or they're repurposed for some other service, gone will these boxes be. Last year, fewer than 10 calls were made from the Sherrington's public phone box, and it is one of 10 in the Norfolk District Council area earmarked for removal. And there it is, protected by 2. It's faced death in 2016. It's still here, Harris, with Counselor Andrew Brown, the attorney, I guess, that's defending this long-term. This is a long-form article, but I'm going to stop right there and keep the whole show under 30 minutes. Wow. Anyway, this is of a bygone age. If anything, it should be protected. It shouldn't be destroyed, but there's going to be some putts out there that if it does get protected and defended because of the attention, somebody's going to break it, and that person is a jackass. So anyway, I am Merwad. I'm saying bye, and we're going to get into our phone booth, which holds all of ohmTown. Look at that. All of ohmTown is in that. It's some timey-wimey, it's bigger on the inside kind of stuff. Anyway, it's not blue, it's red. So no trademark violation, right? Anyway, I'm out of here. I am Mayor Watt saying bye, and I'll see you tomorrow, today, tomorrow, the day after yesterday's tomorrow.